Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Reese's Random Reviews. I am Reese, I'm about to give you a random review, and welcome to another episode of Stephen King Month. Cujo is the next film that I'm going to be talking about, which is based off another Stephen King adaptation and was released in 1983. Now, this film has been known to be called Man's Best Friend Turns into His Worst Enemy, because when a sweet Saint Bernard called Cujo is bitten by a bat one day, he starts behaving oddly and becomes very aggressive. As Cujo morphs into a dangerous beast and goes on a rampage in a small town, a stay-at-home mum called Donna, played by Dee Wallace, gets caught in Cujo's crosshairs, and on a fateful raid with her son, called Tad, they're stuck in a tiny car, and Donna and Tad have a frightening showdown with this crazed animal. Now, Cujo, to me, I remember hearing about it when I was a kid, and everyone used to say it's a very scary film. It stars this very vicious dog. He goes around and starts killing people. But obviously as I got older, I started to read about this story, and I realised why. He gets bitten by a bat, he has rabies, and then he starts to attack everyone that he loves. Now, the reason I have a mixed thought about this whole movie is because people were saying it was the greatest horror film I've ever seen. I wouldn't go that far, because this movie wasn't actually as great as I thought it was going to be. I do love this film. It's a really good film. Cujo is very suspenseful, and it's a very thrilling film. There are some edge-of-your-seat moments, but I wouldn't say it's the greatest movie or greatest horror I've ever seen. I do love the whole originality, though, about the whole getting stuck in a car with an animal trying to kill you, because since then, loads of other movies have been trying to copy Cujo during that stage. But Cujo is original in its own form because it only builds up suspense. You're watching Cujo throughout the film, as remember, he gets bitten by a bat. At first he looks still lovely, still a lovely dog going around, but then very slowly you see him start to act in an odd way. So I'm not getting my words right. He starts to act in an odd way. He starts to hate loud noises, he starts to love being in dark places, and then also when he starts to see his owners or anyone else, that's when he starts to go on a rampage. But saying that though, I do like the suspense of this movie, and I think it is really good. I wouldn't say it was great, but it is a very watchable horror. I do recommend it to horror fans especially. There is one scene that always gets me though, even though this movie doesn't scare me, and when I first watched it I wasn't really scared. There is one scene that always makes me jump. There's a part in this movie where the camera very slowly goes towards the open car door of the mum and the child, and she's trying to sort out his seatbelt, and at first it looks like it's Cujo going towards the car, but then all of a sudden you see Cujo leap up on the other side, and it just, every time I see that bit, it still makes me jump, because I know it's coming, but the noise is so loud, and it's so haunting, and just so jumpy, that Cujo just jumps out, he's like, "Arr!" And you just, oh, Jesus Christ, I knew that was coming, but you just don't know when it's coming. Every time I watch it, that part always gets me. No matter how many times I watch it, it always makes me jump. But yeah, this is a good movie, guys. I do recommend it. It is a very suspenseful flick. It's very entertaining. I wouldn't say it's the best. Don't expect so much gore, so much violence, or so much, harrowing stuff. When Cujo does start to turn rabid and starts to attack people, that is when the film does start to pick up a bit, and it starts to get more edge of your seat and entertaining and a bit more gory. But at first, for the first hour or so, you're watching Cujo just slowly morph into this, rapid beast. You're also watching the mum's backstory. She's cheating on her husband and stuff like that. It's quite cliche because it's an 80s movie, so there you go. But saying that, though, I do like Cujo. It's a great film. Well, not great. It's a good film. It's a classic. I do like it every time I watch it. And yeah, I do recommend it only to horror fans, because that's all I know who's going to like it. So out of 10, I'm going to give Cujo a very fair 7. If you haven't seen Cujo, guys, give it a watch. It is a good film. Yeah, it's just a very watchable, great horror movie. I wouldn't say it's the best Stephen King adaptation I've seen, but I do like it because it's very suspenseful. Guys, thank you so much for watching my videos. As always, you guys are the best. The next film, sorry, I'm not getting my words right today, I do apologise. The next film that I'm going to review is Pet Sematary. That's going to be the next one I'm going to review. I can't wait to review that one. I have seen it, but I can't wait to watch it again and review it. And yeah, guys, please keep liking and sharing my videos and Tell me what you guys think of Cujo as well. You guys are the best as always. And don't forget as well to check out my latest new film, Cash in the Pond. It's out there on YouTube now. It's become a success because you guys love it. Thank you so much for all your support as always. And I am Reese, and I have just given you another random review. Woof woof.